Hello and welcome to the PoketDr Demo. I am your host Dr. Vansh Tangri. I have been a GP for several years now and have been asked to show you the main features of PoketDr. Now this is a brief demo which will only cover the main features. Make sure that you join us for the doctor meetings that we hold online regularly, where you will get further training, meet other doctors who are starting out with PoketDr, and also have a few laughs. So just sit back, relax and enjoy the presentation. If you have any questions, just send me a message. So let's start with the appointment feature. After you log in, this is the appointment screen that you see. Over here we are looking at the appointment screen for Dr. Anil Sharma, who is a cardiologist. You can also see the appointment screens for other doctors, and also you can see which department they are from. So you can see that Dr. Amit Pathak from orthopedics is here, and this is fully changeable. You can add doctors from different departments and different departments in this area. So let's look at Dr. Anil Sharma's template. This is Dr. Anil Sharma's template here. You can see all the patients that are booked to see him. The first patient here is Mr. Kapil, who's booked from 8 o'clock till 8:10, and you can see he has arrived, he has been seen, and he is also paid. You can also add notes to this area. So here you can add a note for skin surgery for Mr. Ajay. This is very useful because then the doctor will know what the patient is coming in for. So let's add a patient. So for example, if we want to book an appointment for 9 o'clock for a patient, we highlight 9 o'clock and then we find the patient. So let's book an appointment for Mrs. Katrina Kaff or Miss Katrina Kaff. And there you go. We have booked an appointment for Miss Katrina Kaff. Now if Miss Katrina Kaff has arrived in the waiting room and she is waiting to see the doctor, then the receptionist can click on arrive. And here we go. There's a timer which shows how long she's been waiting for. Now if you are ready to see her, then you can click on seen, and it shows that she's been seen. When she's leaving, she will pay the receptionist. So after she pays the receptionist can click on paid, and the status here changes to paid. So we know that she has paid for her appointment. So those are some of the buttons in the appointment feature. Of course, there's a lot more to this appointment feature. You can control how long these appointments are. You can also do a lot of other things. However, I will move on to the next feature because I don't want to overload you with information. So now let's take a look at our next feature, which is electronic medical records. And here I've opened up the electronic medical records of one of our dummy patients, Miss Katrina Kaff, and you can see that the medical records are very neatly laid out. These are all the records from the clinics, the hospital admissions, and they've all been neatly laid out according to the date. So the newest notes are at the top, and the oldest entries are at the bottom. So it goes from the newest entries to the oldest entries. Now for example, let's say you want to find out what the cardiologist Dr. Ajay Sharma has written here. Dr. Anil Sharma has written here. You don't have to individually try and find his notes here. You can just go on here, find his name and click on search. And voila, you can see that Dr. Sharma saw Katrina on the 4th of November, and this is what he wrote. His impression was angina, and this was his plan there. So it saves you having to go through all of those records one by one to try and find out what he wrote or what a specialist wrote. You can also enter notes. So for example, if you've seen Katrina today and you want to write your own notes, you can just click on enter new note, and you can just write down whatever you want, A, B, C, D, E, and then, or you can get your colleague, your junior colleagues or the medical student to write all this information for you. And it's very neatly typed out. It's not handwritten anymore, and it's automatically saved, which is very useful. So you never have to worry about losing this information. When you come back to these records in the future, it's all there for you to see. So that's very useful. So you can also see what your colleagues wrote the last time, so what your other colleagues have written in the past. You don't have to worry about reading people's bad handwriting anymore, which is a great feature. So you can also choose different notes that you want, and you can print them. You can also export them as PDF, which is really useful if you want to email a patient's notes to your colleagues for their opinion. So that's a really useful feature. Now all of these records are stored online. So this means that you can see them from any computer, anytime and anywhere. So if another doctor calls you when you're not in the hospital and asks you for your advice on, say, Mrs. Chauhan, who you saw 3 months ago, and you can sort of remember her name but you can't quite put a face to it, then all you have to do is open up her records and hey presto, all of her records are right here for your perusal. Now you can confidently discuss her with your colleagues. PoketDr also records a lot of other really useful information. So this is the other medical history, things like the patient's occupational history, family history, medication allergies, smoking history, alcohol intake, recreational substance use. This is all really useful information that PoketDr records, and the patient can update this information themselves so that you don't have to worry about writing it in for yourself, and when they come to see you, it's all there for you so that you can see it. So that is the patient electronic medical records feature that I've covered very briefly. I will now be showing you the medication feature. So this is the medication page for one of our patients, and you can see the list of medications that have been prescribed, including the name, the date it was prescribed, the dose, and the amount that was prescribed. You can also see whether a medication is a long-term medication or not a long-term medication. The long-term medications are gray in color, whereas the other ones are not. You can also click on display long-term, which will show you only the long-term medications, or display all, which will show you all the medications. All the medications there. You can also prescribe new medications. To prescribe a new medication, you just click on new, and then you just fill out this form here. So we will do a prescription for amitriptyline, 100 milligram, 1 tab, P or Nocte with 90 tablets, and give it for 3 months. And we will save it as a long-term medication, and we will just click on save. And here you can see that the amitriptyline has been prescribed, and it's gray in color, which means it's a long-term medication. You can also print prescriptions, so I can click on as many medications as I want, and I can just click on print, and if I click on print, then these prescriptions will be printed. Now when they're printed, this is what they look like. So you'll have your name at the top, the doctor's name, the name of your hospital or clinic and the details, the name of the patient, the contact details and other details of the patient, the date of the prescription, and all the medications that have been prescribed. So the name, the dose, the amount, and all the other details are all here, and including your name. And that's the first page, and this is the second page of the prescription. Now you can see that this prescription has got so many different medications, which will save you writing them all out by hand. So that's a huge plus. You don't have to write them out by hand. Also, no one has to try and read bad handwriting anymore. It is all very clearly documented on here. There's a great advantage of the prescriptions feature. Now, I don't know about you, but there are some medications that I prescribe very frequently, and I hate retyping those medications over and over again. It's a very time-consuming thing. So with PoketDr, there you can actually save all your favorite medications so that you don't have to type them over and over again. This saves a lot of effort and time. So that's a real big plus. And I'll show you a prescription which I've saved already. So I'll click on new prescription and I'll search for my favorites. And here we go. Let's see. So you can see that paracetamol has already been saved. I can click on that and I can click on select medication, and all of this form is filled out by itself. I just have to click on save, and paracetamol has been prescribed. So that barely took me maybe 3 or 4 clicks to do, and I did not have to write anything to prescribe that medication, which makes it very easy. You can control that list, that entire list of your favorite medications can be fully controlled. You just have to go here And here's your list of all your favorite medications that you prescribe frequently, and you can change this list, you can add new medications, delete medications, and whatever is on this list will be super easy for you to prescribe with minimal effort. These are just some of the features that I have covered today in PoketDr. There's many other amazing features as well, such as a patient portal feature through which patients can see your hospital's opening hours, your fees, the doctors that are there, all the specialists, specialties, and a lot of other information. They can send messages to your receptionist, and you can also send messages to them and do a whole lot more. We will cover all of these features in detail in our online seminars for doctors and medical staff. Now, we hold these meetings regularly, and here you can join other doctors and get full training on PoketDr. You can ask questions, and you can also see what other doctors are doing. And I would like to invite you and your staff to our meetings, and also I look forward to seeing you in these meetings. So I hope to see you there. I hope you have a good day, and I hope you have enjoyed my presentation. Take care. Bye.